I hate racism. Seriously, all my homies hate racism. Also,
screw white people.
Ugh, racism. It's so nasty, isn't it? And so are white people! I wish those privileged mayo crackers would recognize how problematic they are so that we can just defeat racism! What's up, everybody? It's your superior white man, Hunter Avallone here, back with another video. Recently, a video hit the internet titled, "So what exactly are white people superior at?" This video is absolutely horrible. The ratio is just hilarious. And this video style is trying so hard to be like BuzzFeed. I also think that... Hunter, stop! What the heck? What? Why are there two of me? And why do you look slightly more weird than I do usually?
Listen, you gotta listen to me. I'm you only a few minutes in the future.
What? What's about to happen to me?
Listen, you gotta go to hunteravallone.tv right now and sign up for exclusive content that you can watch on virtually any platform. And now, all you have to do is apply the promo code HOLIDAYS at the checkout, and you can sign up for only $3.99 a month or $39.99 a year for a minimum of 2 exclusive videos a week available on virtually all platforms.
Well, you seem like a pretty cool guy. And I want your exclusive content. I mean, it sounds kind of like an OnlyFans, but better.
Also, did I mention? It's uncensored.
Are you serious? I gotta move now! This pathetically cringy video comes from our good friends over at the YouTube channel Cut, which is ironically what I want to do after viewing this crappy video. So let's go ahead and sit back and watch 100 black people tell us what white people are superior at.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Oh, well, according to television, everything. A white man could fly. Even a white woman, she could be 4'1". She knew karate. She could take down 15 people.
Is this woman saying that our entertainment makes it look like white people are superior at flying? I'm pretty sure those are called special effects in the entertainment biz. And I'm pretty sure our entertainment makes it look like anyone can fly or fight. This is such a weird criticism of white people. We asked 100 black folks in America to tell us what white people are superior at. So just really quick, even the framing of this question is genuinely stupid. The creators of this video knew what kind of responses they wanted, and they framed the question in order to capture those types of responses.
They just keep talking, mostly about their pets.
White people love their dogs, like that's all you see.
Yo, how is loving your dog a white person thing? I mean, I love my dog, but it's not because I'm white, it's because she is. All kidding aside, yeah, I love my dog, and that's not a white person thing. Yeah, I kiss my dog on the lips. That's not a white person thing. And it's not a white person thing that I let my dog lick peanut butter off of my
cats, letting them get on your countertops while you're cooking. Yes.
I get that you love your pet, but like you need to take it everywhere, like everywhere.
Seriously, anyone letting cats on their counter, white or black, stop it. Stop now.
Using mayonnaise in a lot of their recipes.
Making bland food.
Unseasoned chicken.
I'm lolling right now. This is like the funniest part of the video. It's straight into the bowels of hell from here.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Smelling funky.
Okay, that's just straight up racist. I think this chick dated a rare white guy who didn't use Axe body spray, and now she's putting that crap on the rest of us whites. Look, lady, don't be blaming me because you decided to date Stinky Pete and his unwashed underwear, alright?
White people are great at having fun. That's a function of white supremacy because they just don't have as many stresses as we do.
This guy's optics. Deep breaths. This is absolutely horrible. However, believe it or not, I do think there's a charitable way to interpret what this guy said. Before you crucify me, let me explain, okay? It's true that on a statistical level, white people do control the majority of the wealth in this country. It's also true that financial stability and happiness are closely correlated. So by this logic, you could say on a statistical level, white people may be more likely to have fun in a lower stress environment. But even if this is what he was attempting to convey, he presented his argument terribly and likely against his own interest. Most people are going to sit down and watch what this guy just said and think he's claiming that going to the amusement park with your family is somehow upholding white supremacy.
White people are very superior at their privilege and utilizing it. We do not have the privilege to do whatever and however we want to.
Does anyone genuinely believe this is going to change people's minds? If anything, this is just going to push people further right. I hate how this guy tries to impugn white people for having privilege. In reality, most white people aren't knowingly and maliciously utilizing their privilege. They're just a product of their environment, like everybody else.
Insecurity, pretending,
fear, being fearful of nothing,
being ignorant,
blame,
letting their egos control their every move.
I'd rather throw myself into a cage with a starving gorilla on steroids before enduring another second of this godforsaken video. It's like non-stop white bashing with a side of humor. White people are now superior at being insecure and letting their ego determine their every move. Listen to yourselves. It's easier to have a bigger ego when you're in a position of power. In this country, white people tend to hold the majority of the power. You aren't angry at white people, but rather the position that a lot of white people are in. None of your complaints are intrinsic to white people, and this is starting to sound like the dipshit reactionaries who think behavior is intrinsic to any one race.
Feeling victimized.
Playing the victim.
Well, admittedly, I do feel a bit victimized by this video.
They're superior at being dicks.
That's just racist.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Oppression, gaslighting.
These people do realize that this kind of content only does more harm than good, right? I mean, you get a bunch of people mad, you reinforce the right-wing idea that the left hates white people, and you ultimately just create more racial division. We can recognize bad systems and how they harm people or disproportionately benefit people. We can look at that even from a racial perspective because it's pertinent to the conversation. But when you go on some BuzzFeed ripoff video to ramble on about how white people are only good at being the worst, you don't benefit the conversation. You only chase people away.
Intellectualizing oppression.
Did I say oppression?
Lack of empathy.
Although I'm not a fan of the generalizations, I can somewhat agree. Plenty of white people lack empathy, but why is that? I'm not interested in shitting on white people for being mean. Sometimes white people lack empathy, and it isn't because they're malicious or bad people, but rather because sometimes white people lack the understanding that there are such radically different realities for some racial groups inside of our very own country. This is a tough pill to swallow, and you remember earlier where I mentioned how white people aren't purposely utilizing their privilege, it's just something that exists? Yeah, well, that can contribute to a lack of understanding and a lack of empathy. Framing a lack of empathy as being a white person thing is not beneficial. It's a fact that as people get more educated, their politics begin to change as well. This lack of empathy is only correlative and has nothing to do with white people intrinsically.
That stuff to me is wild.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Making us believe that we don't matter.
Are you talking about historically or currently? Historically, yeah. Currently, I would disagree with that. I mean, look at the recent BLM marches. According to the New York Times, the recent BLM protests peaked on June 6th when 500,000 people turned out in nearly 550 places across the United States. 4 recent polls suggest that about 15 million to 26 million people in the United States have participated in demonstrations over the death of George Floyd and others in recent weeks. I'd be willing to bet that a huge chunk of these demonstrators were white people. So if we can play the generalization game, why isn't this proof that white people do think you matter?
What exactly are white people superior at?
Honey, lying, stealing, and cheating.
Manipulation.
Withholding information.
Lying?
Telling lies.
Okay. Do these black people realize that all white people are not, in fact, Christopher Columbus?
Conquering.
Imperialism.
Colonizing.
Colonialism.
Again, historically or currently. Historically, yeah, I'd agree. America did a lot of despicable crap. And American imperialism is still cringe AF today. But it's really disingenuous to act as if this is something the general white population is somehow responsible for. Even if there were racist intentions behind our government's decision to invade a certain country, that's terrible, but it's not white people's fault or intrinsic to white people at all. If anything, it's because America has the largest military and we're a world superpower.
They ballsy, they rose up all over the world and they walk into everybody's house and says, oh, this is nice, I'm gonna take your shit. And they have no qualms about it. They can take anything, baby.
Has this woman ever met a white person? Honestly, I'm shocked. I mean, I had no idea that my privilege afforded me the right to just rob anyone I so choose. But now that we're at it, does anyone know if this chick has a 60-inch LED TV?
They're real good at violence.
You'd think these people would have heard the drooling shrieks of alt-righters going, 1350! Enough to know not to tie violence to a racial group.
Taking over other people's cultures and making you believe that they invented it.
Maybe they're thinking of it as repurposing. It's like recycle and repurpose.
I don't deny that white people, again, historically did cultural appropriate, but nowadays, cultural appropriation has to be done with the intent to mock one's culture. It's not just a white person wearing dreadlocks. Also, we live in America, the melting pot of the world, and multiculturalism has benefited our country in countless ways. So can we please just stop arguing like the far right and trying to tie race to culture? Thanks.
They are very good at destruction of land, destruction of people, destruction of humanness.
Her criticism would be a lot more valid against corporations, not white people.
I don't believe that they're superior in any way, shape, or form.
Just because our skin color is different, you're no better than me.
Now that I can agree with. White people are not superior, and our skin color doesn't play any significant role in anything. Skin color is just that. Color. Nothing more, nothing less. This entire video was beyond cringe. It was filled with bad arguments and horrible optics that only added to the anti-SJW fuel. If you wouldn't say some of these things about a black person, you shouldn't say those things about a white person either. I acknowledge that our country isn't close to perfect, and we still have a long way to go in regards to solving our racial issues. But videos like this one don't help. In fact, they push us backwards. Here's my advice to Cut and how they should have done this video. Action! Cut! Please give this video a like, comment below, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm gonna go utilize my privilege now. Peace.